All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to JCPS. And this is the last day of July. Calendar flips to August tomorrow, which means it's an exciting time of year. So in about, 9 or 10 days now, we start a brand new school year, 23-24. And it is definitely the year that we have been working very hard for over the past several months, with probably the biggest changes we've seen in decades here in JCPS. We're really proud of these changes. Lots of hard work, lots of change for all of our stakeholders, but incredibly important changes for the future of JCPS. Last week we had a press conference where we talked about start times and transportation. I'll just briefly touch on that once again before I get into some of our other major changes. You know, we had the bus driver shortage last year, double and triple runs, had nearly 20,000 kids miss instructional time last year with millions of minutes. Kids getting late to school, staying well after school because we had to have double or triple runs. That's not sustainable, not fair to students. We have to maximize our instructional time and make sure kids are in class every single minute possible. And so we added start times, as you know, which reduced our bus routes. So we have these staggered starts now. Most of our schools will have new start times. We know that's a challenge for many, but it's important and critical that we do that. We reduced our bus routes down to about 600. And so now, for the first time in several years, we have enough bus drivers at the start of the school year to cover every single bus route. We have more drivers than bus routes right now. Our transportation team is working incredibly hard right now to address all issues when it comes to bus stops and routes, concerns that parents may have. And we'll talk a little bit more about, if parents have further concerns, what they can do about that. With our facilities, really exciting time. We're going to be cutting the ribbon on 2 brand new schools as we in the next 7 days. We will on Thursday be opening up the swing space, or a temporary spot, for our brand new middle school in West Louisville, Hudson Middle School. That is in the former Wheatley School. We've done a lot of work to improve that building for the 6th graders that will be entering. We have about 300 6th graders who will be coming to Hudson Middle School for the first time. We're excited about that. And then 2 brand new school buildings we'll be cutting the ribbons on here very shortly. Friday, we will cut the ribbon for Perry Elementary School, which is our first school in West Louisville in about 25 years. Very excited about that. Very innovative space. Looking forward to showing that off. The finishing touches are going on that building right now. And then next Monday, we'll cut the ribbon on Echo Trail, which is a brand new school in middle school in East Louisville, in the far East End. And so 2 brand new, beautiful schools. It's what our kids deserve. We should have been doing this many years ago. But what this will mean is 4 brand new schools that will be opening up in the past 12 months. And we know we've got about 25 more that we're going to be opening up over the next 10 years. So exciting times when it comes to facilities. Also, we have a brand new school choice plan. This is the first time since the 1970s that students in West Louisville can choose to go close to home if that's what they want to do. With our choice zone, our kids have had the opportunity to stay close to home or leave the community and go to a school as they have over the past few decades. And our enrollment numbers, especially at the elementary and middle, support that's what families have wanted to do. And so I want to be clear on this with the community. With our K, 6th, and 9th graders, this will be the first time since the mid-70s that students in West Louisville, all students, have the choice to stay close to home if that's what they want to do. But we also knew we had to resource our schools better. And so extra resources for those schools to ensure success. So for the first time ever, we're paying principals in our choice zone $10,000 extra in a stipend in order to work in our choice zone, and our teachers $8,000 to teach in our choice zone. We want to make sure we get the students that need the resources the most, that support. And once again, our goal has always been to have all of our families have school choice. For the first time ever, families in West Louisville will have that. Also, we are now implementing a district-wide literacy and math curriculum. As you probably know, this is the first time that curriculum has been the choice of central office or the superintendent on a bill that was passed in the Senate in 2022. And we are excited. We think it's the right thing for kids to make sure that we have a district-wide literacy plan and all of our kids have the same curriculum. So if a kid moves from one school to the next, they will have the same curriculum. This is evidence-based reading and literacy that's going to be taught in every elementary and middle school. And once again, if we have mobility, the child will have the same curriculum that they had at the prior school before that. It will be the exact same for math. So that was a huge lift for our academics department and our schools department over the summer. We trained over 2,500 teachers on our new curriculum throughout the summer. Training is ongoing right now. As we onboard brand new teachers, we're going to continue that training. So that is going to be an enormous difference maker for us in the district, that we have an aligned curriculum across all of our schools. Finally, we've continued to increase our security at our schools. We have a number of schools that we have installed the vestibules for, that are 2 sets of doors that families have to go through. And then, as you know, last Tuesday our board approved weapons detectors in high schools and middle schools. So we have accepted that bid right now. We will be in the process in the next 2 weeks of having the companies that install it come walk all of our high school campuses. We expect to have weapons detections systems in our schools and operational by the end of September or the 1st of October. So as you can see, massive amounts of changes going on in this district right now, but very exciting times for our district. These are long overdue changes that should have happened many years ago, but we're taking them on now because we know we need bold change in JCPS. And so we did want to highlight our back to school page. So as you can see, there is a link on our website for back to school. You can click on, any family can click on start times to see their school start time. I would highly encourage our families to access this right now so that they can begin to see these, call schools if there are any questions. But every single school is listed, as you can see, on our start times. As well, the transportation plans are included on this webpage as well, so you can see riding the bus, that link. And it has the Bus Finder app that is linked right to that, so a family can click on that, type in their address and their school, and clearly get where their bus stop and pickup times are. And also there is, as you can see, a bus stop request form. So if a family is requesting a change, they can click on the bus stop request form. This is the first time we have done this. In past years, what has happened is families have to call the help center or a compound in order to get this. We have teams right now, they worked dawn to dusk over the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, to address families who have put in this bus stop request form. We'll continue to do that up until the first day of school to make things more efficient for families. So I would ask families, please go to this page for information on your child's school, your child's transportation, and make sure to do that this week. The sooner the better. We know we've had a lot of families do that, but continue to do that and not wait until the day before the first day of school. I know this is a lot of information and a lot of changes as we start the 23-24 school year. First day of school is always difficult and challenging, no doubt. We're going to have about 67,000 kids that we're going to be transporting, many of our youngest kids getting on a bus and off a bus for the first time. And so it does take time, especially with all the changes that we have. So we are asking the community for patience, understanding that there will be some challenges, but we are up to those challenges and we'll continue to make changes throughout this week, next week, and the first week of school so that all of our kids have a great 23-24 school year. At this time, one of our big things that I talked about was Choice Zone, and I'd like to bring up our Director of Choice Zone Support, who really for our 13 schools in the Choice Zone is the person that makes sure that these schools, these principals, have everything they could possibly need. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Director of Choice Zone Support, Jamira Johnson.
Thank you, Dr. Pollio. Good morning. My name is Jamira Johnson, and I am the Director of Choice Zone Programs. And we are extremely excited for our students and families because this is our first year of the Choice Zone. Students who reside in the Choice Zone have the opportunity to attend a school closer to home. With that being said, the district has invested additional funding in Choice Zone schools so that students have the opportunities to experience smaller class sizes, more field trips, after school activities, and enrichment programs. Additionally, teachers and staff in the Choice Zone schools were given extra incentives to meet the specific academic, social, and emotional needs of their students in their classrooms. Some of our students will be attending two new schools in the Choice Zone, Perry Elementary and Hudson Middle. Perry Elementary, located at 18th and Broadway, will welcome students in kindergarten through 5th grade. Hudson Middle School, located at the former Wheatley Elementary location, will welcome 6th grade students. Furthermore, the Academy at Shawnee will welcome an increasing number of middle and high school students. And as a result of the district's investment in Choice Zone schools, students attending these schools will be surprised and ecstatic when they walk inside their buildings on the first day. Our district's communications and buildings and grounds team have been working nonstop over the summer to update and rebrand Choice Zone facilities so that our students return to a visually appealing and inviting school. This is a monumental year for us. We are continually assessing and monitoring the needs of our students. We look forward to seeing the continuous collaboration of our district, school teams, facility, families, and community members who are working together to ensure our students experience success in the upcoming school year. Thank you. And at this time, we will welcome Tarina Eddington from Nutrition Services.
Good morning. Last year, we served over 10 million lunches and over 6.4 million breakfasts to our students, and we're very excited to welcome them back into the cafeteria this school year. We are so happy to announce that we are able to add 4 additional schools to the program that allows us to offer breakfast and lunch at no charge to our students, and those will be Perry Elementary, Hudson Middle School, Male High School, and Dunn Elementary School. School meal prices will remain the same for this school year. And thanks to a local foods grant from the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, this year we will be able to menu at all locations burgers from Marksberry Farms. Some additional highlights for this school year for our program include we will have fresh veggie stations at all of our school locations for students, and thanks to improvements in supply chain, peanut butter and jelly is back on the menu. And we are also happy to return to using our recyclable school trays. So we look forward to seeing your students in the lunchroom lines across our district. Thank you.
And one additional exciting announcement for any teachers who are watching right now. I think it's important to note last year, for the first time ever, we gave out every single of our certified staff members an Amazon account with $250 in it, approved by finance, so that teachers could have supplies for their classroom. We know that's been a common thing over the years, is teachers have to use their own money many times to pay for supplies in their classroom. Today we'll be sending out notification to our teachers that we are increasing that to $400 this year. I believe later in the week all teachers will have access to that, so every teacher will have an additional $400 in order to supply their classrooms this year. Those Amazon accounts will be open and ready for teachers to make those orders later in the week. We want to make sure we support our teachers as much as possible. And make sure that as much as absolutely possible, they don't have to take money out of their own pocket to supply their classrooms. So as you can see, lots of enormous changes taking place in the district. It's an exciting time for us, though. We're ready to get going and can't wait to see our kids back in schools. Can't wait for the first day of school. Happy to take any questions that you have. Sure.
Well, some schools were able to hire additional teachers based on their funding. And so many of the choice zone schools had additional funding to meet the needs of that particular school. So some of the schools were able to hire additional teachers so that they could have smaller classrooms. I do not have an exact number that will be at a principal level.
Obviously, hiring's still going on right now, so we'll have that information as we start the school year. I think a big part of that is attracting teachers, but also making sure we retain teachers at the end of the year. So it's going to be a cycle that we'll have to evaluate at the end of the year to see how that improves. I know at least 2 principals who we have hired that might not have been the deciding factor, but it was a factor in that decision.
Lots of changes, namely with the school start times, and almost always there's going to be some bumps in the road when schools start up. Can you explain the process after school starts? Is there going to be any revision process? Could there be any changes to these school starts?
It would be very challenging for us to change start times once the school year starts. We will evaluate that and report to our board throughout the school year. And if changes are to be made in year 2, 24, 25, we can do that. But, you know, what we will be looking for are some individual changes that may need to be made around bus stops, certain buses. We may have to add buses to a school, move one to another. Those type of things would be the changes that we make. But from a macro level, I don't see changes in start times happening during the 23-24 school year.
What do you have to say about the resignation of Jason Glass?
You know, I just found out about 30 minutes ago about it, and I've got a lot of respect for Dr. Glass. He is he's a champion for education and has done great work. I'll miss him as commissioner, but obviously I wish him well as he moves into, I know, post-secondary. But look forward to talking to him about it, but got a lot of admiration for Dr. Glass.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.